Discover more about karma, the awakening, and the grand university called Earth in this episode of Intuitive Messages. Hello, I'm Brad Johnson, and welcome to this episode of Intuitive Messages. And I'm going to be talking about is karma, the awakening, and the grand university called Earth. So what is it that is called karma? Why are we constantly focusing on this idea in these particular videos about karma? In itself, karma is a factor, is a self-imposed idealism that is brought on by the self, or even collectively. When we allow ourselves to get into the loop of karma, we cannot advance. It is the old saying that when you do not learn from history, it will repeat itself. This is the whole idea with karma. We are here on this planet to learn a lesson. This is all part of the duality. The duality exists as part of this entire system, as this archetype to where we can learn lessons, and when we learn them, we do not have to repeat them. That's why on this planet there are a lot of different systems, different forms of situations, different forms of circumstances that occur to where when there is no progress, that must be repeated. And we're looking at this on an individual level and at a collective level as well. To when there is war, to when there are disasters, and when people do not learn from those wars, from those disasters, from those forms of duality, history will repeat itself. It will become modified, and it will versionize in that sense with another situation, with another event that will come in the future, repeating itself once again. If individuals truly wish to advance themselves personally, they have to go through their own personal karma, whatever their forms of situations are. It's resolving, it's learning from those lessons. That is how you beat out karma. In order to beat it out collectively, individuals in the masses must allow themselves to wake up. They have to allow themselves to learn from a situation that's happening right now, to learn from the idea of war. War obviously doesn't solve anything. It is separation. To learn from these disasters, to learn from the idea of the recent oil spill that happened here. It was tragic, it was hideous, it was very destructive, it is very painful to look at, but then again, it is a lesson that's being learned here, that we are moving past the idea of looking at oil as a natural resource. It is an outdated resource. There are literally alternative energy systems that are still out there, locked up under lock and key, that could be utilized at this stage. We no longer are at the point where we need oil anymore. So this, in that sense, is that returning karma. It's the universe saying, okay, well, you still haven't learned your lesson about oil, so this has to happen. These situations need to occur so that the masses can wake up, so they can stop hitting the snooze button on the alarm clock that the universe is constantly ringing at them, and instead of turning over, reaching for the snooze button, it's time to get out of bed. It's time to wake up. It's time to take self-responsibility. So now that we've talked about karma, what is it about awakening? What are we talking about when we say, you have now awoken? The whole idea is that when you understand reality to the idea to where you are no longer influenced by the systems, by the belief systems, by the archetypes, by the designs of money, the monetary system, of the governments, of all of those systems, when you finally come to the point where you have finally awoken out of bed, where you have finally gotten to the point where the alarm clock set by the universe has come together, then that is your true understanding of awakening. You have reached that point, and the only step after that is to be, is to become one with your beingness. That is the next step. So what is this grand university called Earth? As you can see around me, Earth itself is probably one of the most beautiful planets according to much of my intuition, one of the most beautiful planets out there. And if you take a look, and again, if you're spreading your observational wings and taking a look of the history of this planet when humanity was on it, it's not a pretty sight. Earth itself is a grand university. It is a planet that has a duality. It is a teaching ground. It is a school. It is not a kindergarten. There are beings here on this planet that are very advanced souls. They have been around the block, you could say, according to my intuitive guidance, and they have been everywhere. And then they come to this planet and they explore it. They incarnate here. And it is not an easy task to get past the duality here. This is the ultimate challenge. This is why people are here, to get past this duality and become higher, more advanced than they could ever possibly imagine. This is what the Grand University of Earth is all about. But when you think about it, when you look at Earth, see exactly what she has provided for us. You can think of it in the idea of an analogy of a sweet, wonderful, loving old lady that has opened the door to this luxurious mansion with all these acres of land, with all this space, with all this beauty. And she has invited all of these people in and saying, here you go, enjoy. Enjoy what I am offering. I just want to see this love. And afterwards, you see that the people she invited in has completely trashed the place, has completely abused it, has destroyed it. And then you see the sweet old lady out in the back there, crying, not sure what has happened. I don't understand it, she may say. I simply invited these people into my place, into my own space, out of love. And this is what I get in return. So when you look at this planet, it's the same form here. We are looking at a planet that is so beautiful, that is presenting us with all of this beautiful nature, presenting us with beautiful animals, presenting us with this incredible environment. And in that sense, look at the idea of how we have treated her. This is the whole idea of balancing out your karma, of awakening, and understanding that you are in a grand university on planet Earth. We all have a responsibility to her. This is our world. This is our home. There is no other place to go. We only have one Earth. So the whole idea, by balancing out your karma, by waking up and seeing past the systems, by going past all of that, you see the big picture. You come back to nature. You look at this grand university and saying, yes, this is a challenge, and I can do this. No one else here is going to wake you up. You have to wake yourself up. The universe is always sounding that alarm clock. It's up to you, to go up to that alarm clock, hit the buzzer, and get out of bed and wake up. This planet needs our help. She has been tormented, she has suffered, she has been in pain, she has been raped, she has had all forms of terrible things happening to her. And if we really truly look at the idea of the big picture, which is the key here, sorting out karma, bringing ourselves back into balance, looking at ways to help the earth by waking ourselves up. This will eliminate karma individually. This will eliminate karma collectively, because these forms of events will continue to happen again and again and again until we learn the lesson. That's how it is. So we have a responsibility to ourselves. We have a responsibility to this planet. Let's treat her right. Let's wake ourselves up, and let's come into balance. I'm Brad Johnson. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.